Now that you should have a good feel for his neutral, pressure, and optimizations, it's time to dive deep into his zoning options, mentality, and ways to be extra threatening on offense. If they jump over Stinger and the balls are sent off screen, they are still an active threat if you use the gravity super, since it will pull the balls in with active hitboxes. It can be one of the last resorts to save yourself from options like Jacko minions, or punish her for holding one. You can also intentionally set this up by doing S Stinger into H Stinger to have it go past them, leaving a threat behind them to punish an option on reaction. Since 5p isn't a great anti-air, and 6p has a lot of recovery, doing Dash Under into Close Slash is a great and high reward option for dealing with jump-ins. Be especially mindful of this in the mid to long range, since IEDs are an easy way to punish Stinger and a number of other zoning options he has. A strong but difficult option is 6p'ing a ball, then canceling into Stinger. Simply doing charge back, then forward 6p, 6s won't work. You have a 10 frame window to go from back to forward, then 9 frames to press the button for the charge move. So you'll have to press 6p within the first 10 frame window, and 6s in the 9 frame window following that. You'll essentially want to hit forward and P on the same frame or as close as you can get. The timing is pretty strict, so I recorded a hand cam with 2 variations doing the input. Sorry for the non-leverless users, but for player 1 side, you can shift your hand over and hit both forward and P using your index and middle finger to help you get the timing closer. Then use the ring finger to hit S. And here it is in real time with the audio in case that helps with hearing the timing. Since that only works for player 1 side, it's important to learn it without the hand shift trick. While you can hold down P while you hit S, I find tapping and releasing P to help me narrow in on the timing for when to hit S. Unfortunately, it's pretty hard to describe the timing, and there are times I can do it 5 times in a row, then mess it up 5 times in a row, so it is something you'll have to mess around with and figure out, but the hand cam and audio can help a bit. For more detail on the frame data for the inputs, check the strategy page on the wiki linked in the description. When using ball set, the ball can be hit before it reaches its final spot, giving you a lot more variation than you may think. Doing a button into Stinger may send the balls at completely different angles at one timing, but simply doing Stinger at the right timing during the set can launch them both together. And the farther the ball is when you Stinger, the tighter the spread is on the collision. Mixing up how many balls are on the screen, the height at which they're sent, and the distance from you when you Stinger lead to near endless possibilities for angles you can cover. Using P-set gives the most amount of possible heights, since you can hit it at any point as it goes to the ground. This can let you get really low to the ground launches, or even ones near chest level, so if you want more control, use P-set. As a reminder, you can jump cancel the air balls on hit in case you think you'll be hit out of the recovery, or want to cover another angle with air raid. And while the general goal of zoning is to control space, which he's good at, the most important thing to remember is that patience is necessary. Throwing out a lot of options is good, but he does have a lot of recovery tied into Stinger and ball sets, so when you have space, set up preemptive counters like S set into JK or IED back JH raid. If you don't have space, poking with far slash into QV to control space and set up a ball will be very useful. But sometimes it's best to simply be patient and wait and see what options they're looking to use to get in on you. From before, JK into air raid is really strong, and even has combo potential if they get hit in the air. If you're really scared of them jumping or IEDing, but don't want the risk of getting hit out of JK, simply super jumping into H raid should do a good job covering it. JH into air raid focuses more on covering the ground and mid-range, but does cover the air a bit later. For some variation, charging the air raid can change the angles and speeds they get sent at. JP, JH, 2S is great at covering in front of you while setting up an anti-low profile option. Since it slowly crosses the ground, you can set up a charge Stinger for more setups. 2S can be replaced by 2H or any other P-set option. Choose what's best based on how they're moving. Multi-ball set doesn't seem that great in neutral, honestly. It's pretty slow, and it can mess up the angles you'd be wanting to send them unless you really dive deep into labbing the interactions. While Dark Angel is strong, it's easy for them to jump to try to get around it. So if you have the space, P and K set can be used to lock them down a bit, then cover the airspace with either hitting the ball with 6P or tap dust. Changing the timing when you hit the ball or cancel into another option can have a drastic impact on how the interaction goes. While I tried to include as many examples as I could, there are just so many possibilities, it really is just best to go into training mode and test it out for yourself. Not only do the timing and height matter, but the amount of balls in the collision changes it even more. While having 2 or more balls set is not super realistic, it is possible, especially if you were aiming to do that specifically. It was fun trying to see what he can do, but I feel like I've only scratched the surface of what's possible. These examples should be more than enough for what's realistic and useful, but stay curious and test out new options for yourself. One of the more advanced techniques he has is close slash dash kara H raid. Not only do you need to start charging as soon as you input close slash, but when moving to the up input for the H raid, you need to time the dash macro when you're either pressing no direction or forwards. Then quickly hit up and H. It's great to have since it's his best way of looping plus frames, and with no FD, it should be all true string, letting you build up a lot of risk for a high damage command grab or frame trap combo. While mid-screen and fighting FD, it will at a minimum keep you +9, but potentially more while letting you stay closer than normal, letting microdash 2k either true string or frame trap. Mix that in with command grabs or other turn steals like dash close slash to make them scary. To make the command grab scarier, 5k into delayed dash kara command grab is really strong. It lets you command grab as a tick throw from farther away than you may think. The downsides are that the input is tricky and you need to manually delay the 5k so you don't try to command grab them while they're still in block stun. Ending a string with QV into fast RC 5k lets you dash cancel to get right back in and be plus. You don't have to dash cancel, and you can use the other 30 plus frames to set up anything else you like. Something sneaky to throw in is tap dust fast RC forward command grab. While Venom is generally a low damage character, getting a command grab in the corner leads to a lot of damage, but the combo is not so easy. As soon as the command grab recovers, K set into H raid, then do 2 crouching Ps into another H raid. If they have burst, you'll want to do 5p after this since it's burst safe and will wall stick if they don't. But optimized, you go right into 6H, ball set, into super. The downside is that this only works if you're right in the corner. Doing 6k to pull them to you messes up the spacing. Mixing this in with dash kara H raids is really good to build risk to maximize damage. For a bit of a cheat, Wild Assault into P ball set makes this so you can do 2k into H raid twice, then close slash into the ender. It's much easier, but has the higher cost to set up and may be more telegraphed what you're going for, but you can use that to your advantage too. The difficult side switch from counter hit close slash has you do a dash cancel, then close slash dash kara H raid so you can make it to the corner again. For an easier version, just go into 6H for a knockdown. If you have meter, you can use Dark Angel to go corner to corner. A cool RC combo from 2K2D does S-Stinger, RC into Charged Dust to let the ball pop them up again. A more optimized tap dust combo is fast RC 2K H raid and close slash 6H H raid while leaving enough gravity for a dash cancel, giving more corner carry. This combo is a bit more optimal and easier, but since you don't fast RC, it costs about half a bar more. One more extension I wanted to show off is doing close slash 6k H raid mid combo, which is actually slightly more optimal than the first route. Finally, from JD, you can do essentially a jump cancel BRC when you hit the ground as an optimization. After comboing into Dark Angel, knocking them down into JH lets you air dash and have the missile hit cross up. This can also be done with 5k IED, and the timing you air dash will change which side it hits on. From the ball set into 5k dash cancel Oki, you can hit stop OS reversals by doing close slash into jump back. If you just hit the ball, you'll jump cancel, but if you put them in block stun or hit stun, it will take priority, leaving you grounded to continue pressure. For corner throw Oki, OTG with PQV into 2k to pull them out of the corner while being plus. It leaves them really close and you at +12, so dash command grab is easy to set up and go into the high damage route. There are a few ways to go into Dark Angel from throw, but OTG 6H and 2D are the main ways. Once they block it, jump forward into air dash back JS or empty 2k for a high load that's auto confirms and keeps you plus. Or go for JD after anything grounded or tap dust. OTG 2D is great since it lets you get the H raid meaty as well. Since it leaves you very plus, safely meaties, and catches backdash, it's probably the best corner Oki he has, but OTG QV and running H raid are also great options. Like I said before, he feels like a character with limitless options, but this should be more than enough to take you far and help you find some never before seen setups. Thank you for watching.